The night the lake started flowing uphill, River Fairchild was the only one standing close enough to the shore to hear it breathe. She had taken the posting at the old signal station above Duskmore Reservoir because the solitude was supposed to help her finish her dissertation. The station had no purpose anymore. The dam below rendered it obsolete in 1971, but the Forestry Commission still paid someone to monitor water levels and report any unusual runoff. Unusual. She would learn to hate that word. The first sign came 3 nights into her posting, during the full blood moon in late October. River noticed the water markers she had planted along the northwestern bank were reading wrong. The surface of the reservoir was not merely rising or falling. It was moving, laterally, then upward along the stone escarpment, creeping against gravity in slow, deliberate pulses, like something enormous was exhaling from below. She called Morgan Inkwood, the hydrologist assigned to the region, who laughed politely and told her to check her calibration. She called Casey Greaves, the forestry liaison in the nearest town, who went very quiet on the line before saying there were old stories about Duskmore Reservoir, but that she should not worry about old stories. Then Casey hung up without saying goodbye. River documented everything. She photographed the water markers. She filmed the surface of the lake with her phone, catching that slow, impossible lateral draw toward the cliff face where the old survey maps showed nothing, no inlet, no drainage, no geological feature of any kind, just solid mountain. On the 4th night, she walked the northern perimeter with a flashlight and found the birds. Every bird in the surrounding tree line, sparrows, crows, a great horned owl she had been watching from her window, had arranged themselves facing the water, sitting in absolute stillness, not dead, breathing, but oriented toward the reservoir's surface with an attention so focused it looked ceremonial. The water was higher on the escarpment than it had any right to be. And there was a sound coming from beneath the surface, not bubbling, not the mechanical groan of pressure, but a slow, rhythmic resonance, like the lowest note of an instrument built from stone. She pressed her hand to the cliff face beside the waterline. The rock was warm. That was when River Fairchild made the connection she had been resisting for 4 days. She went back to the station and pulled the historical survey files from the cabinet where previous monitors had left them, going back to the reservoir's creation. At the very bottom of the stack, she found a folder that predated the dam. A hand-drawn geological assessment from 1908, annotated in 2 different kinds of handwriting. The first handwriting labeled the valley's hydrology, the watershed, the stone composition, standard survey language. The second handwriting, cramped, added later in different ink, had circled the area where the northern cliff now stood and written 4 words beside it. It comes up breathing. Morgan Inkwood arrived the next morning without being called. He stood at the shore and watched the waterline on the escarpment. It had retreated slightly with the shifting of the moon, but the warm stone remained, and the low resonance was still faintly audible if you pressed your ear to the ground. Morgan did not look surprised. She had known since childhood that some things wait, not with hunger,